Good morning, RVA Connected. This is Anna Southen, your podcast host, and I am super excited to have my new friend, right? Because we just recently met. Oh, it's been maybe about a month. Megan Wilson and I met at, where did we
A
meet?
Nabo, a
A
Nabo
Navo
event at
event. That's right.
Harry's.
Yes, Harry. I was
Yeah.
trying to think of Harry's. I was like, what was the name of that restaurant that we went to? So we met at a Nabo event and got to chit chatting and really hit it off. So Megan, say hi to our audience out here.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet you and nice to meet Anna. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to have you on here because we are, well, we're in the same industry, right? When it comes to marketing and branding and things like that, but we do things very differently. And so I love connecting with individuals who are in the same space that I'm in because I love learning. I'm very much my zone of genius and I don't want to know everything. There are other people who are much smarter than I am at what they do, and I love learning from others. So I want you to share your expertise with our listeners today. So tell people who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Megan, and I have been running my own marketing agency for like almost 10 years now.
Wow.
I got my start. I went to college, University of Richmond, and got a degree in journalism and studio art, but I was trained for print world. The
Okay.
internet hadn't really come about yet, and
Okay.
and then the recession happened, and then the internet, like blogs and newspapers, started evolving pretty much the year I graduated, which was in 2009. So I had to
Awesome.
evolve like immediately, but I still use the same like core skill set that I learned in college. Like I'm a great interviewer, I'm a great writer, I'm a great listener, I'm a great designer, I know color theory, art direction. So, when I graduated, I was freelancing already, but then got into the 9 to 5 world and started off early in nonprofit marketing.
Okay.
And nonprofits were really like early adopters to social media, to email marketing because it was free. It was a
Right.
free way for them to raise money for their causes. So I got to build some of the first email marketing campaigns, launch the first like Facebook and Instagram accounts for a lot of local nonprofits here, and went through website redesigns for several of them, or some of them it was their first time. So I progressed over like a period of like 6 to 8 years, working in a traditional 9 to 5 role when I really started to feel like maybe I wasn't serving the world in the greatest capacity.
Okay.
And I felt like I could accomplish a lot more with my skill set by going out on my own as a freelancer. And this was before entrepreneur was like a cool word.
Right.
And like
Before it
nobody
became
I
the word that
knew,
everybody shared. Yeah.
yeah, like nobody I knew was doing it. Like resources like Nabo, I mean, maybe they were around, but they weren't anywhere near as robust. The entrepreneur community was
Right.
not present. I was just trying to figure it out on my own, being like, I know I'm good at this. I've learned all this stuff in real time. Like I took some of the first social media classes that existed, and the rest is kind of history. Here I am now. So I branded my marketing agency as Sweet Talk Strategy.
Love
So
that.
there we provide anything from public relations, helping our clients get placed on the newspaper, on TV, on blogs, collaborating with influencers, which is a big uptick in some of
Yep.
the work that we're doing. We also do email marketing, social media management. We also do like the strategy part of things. So I really, especially if we're entering into a long-term relationship with somebody, we always start with a plan. And that's become something that like I live and die by, and find that a lot of businesses and nonprofits are lacking. Content is so diverse and marketing so complicated and multi-channeled, multi-stream. So you're just going to waste your time and money if you don't have a place to start with, have a ground zero for your
Absolutely.
team to collaborate on. So we're doing a lot of that. And then, of course, the content creation aspect of it. So bringing in my art degree, but I've got like a team of photographers and videographers and designers who can kind of meet the needs of clients based on where they are. Kind of, I say I custom match them to
Okay.
clients. So based on aesthetic, based on budget, based on timeline, I'm like a creative contractor. So
Okay.
I've got, yeah, that's something this is like a business model I like developed early on because I was connecting with these other entrepreneurs who were looking to work on the same kinds of projects as I was. So I kind of developed this Rolodex of creatives I can call who I've vetted for the client, but I speak the creative language, but I also speak the CEO language. So I'm sort of the intermediary. So hopefully the client only has to talk to me. And I
Wonderful.
translate, as I
Right.
like to say, to the client. And then, that I kind of try to make that back and forth easy and fun for everybody. And I
Right.
found that that's a lot of times where people get hung up when it comes to that creative process, for their business or nonprofit.
Yeah.
I
I
think
love
that
that.
captures
So,
most of what we're doing.
well, I'd love to talk a little bit more about the ground zero that you were talking about, right? So, a lot of individuals, I mean, an entrepreneur who's going out and starting their own business, there is a lot of information out there, right? The different platforms that you could talk about, everything from threads to, to Facebook, to LinkedIn, to all of that, doing reels, doing stories, doing like, there's just so much information that it can be extremely overwhelming. And what I like to call it is I want to stay in my zone of genius. I shared this a little
Mhm.
bit earlier. Like there's certain things that I'm really good at. And I want to continue to hone those skills and make them stronger. I don't want to be good at everything. I can't be good at everything, right? And if you try to be good at everything, then you're going to do everything in a mediocre fashion and not to the best of its capacity and ability. So, talk to me a little bit about how that process works. If somebody comes to you and says, "Okay, here's me, here's my brand. Help me develop a plan." What does that plan look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. I actually just sat down with a NABO member and she shared with me, like, I've been doing this for 9 years. I took a break. Since then, COVID, since then, TikTok, like, stuff's constantly evolving. That's something you can
For sure.
always
Yes.
guarantee, and
The only
so I
change,
just
or the only constant is change, I think is the expression. Yeah.
absolutely. And like, honestly, I think that's what holds back a lot of people from pushing forward on marketing their business because they get so overwhelmed. So, like, I
Yeah.
really try to sit down, listen to them, ask them questions about, okay, so like, where were your last 10 clients from? Where are your big ticket clients? Like, how are they coming to you? Also, like, what do you enjoy? Where do you feel like you're putting your best foot forward when it comes to projects and clients? And through this kind of hierarchy of questions, we get down to a level like, okay, here's the top 3 things that I really think you can do for your business right now. And like, someone might assume that I'm saying, like, you need to be posting reels on Instagram, but like, that actually wasn't the result of the conversation. The result of the conversation was like, okay, I think we really need to map out a 6-month marketing plan. Let's get you like featured on some podcasts and get into some of these like higher end glossy magazines where your clients are probably living. And then let's create some strategic partnerships with these, people who are regularly referring clients your way. Like, let's focus on them. Like, how do we get on their emails? How do we throw an event where they invite people and then you have everybody's email address? How do we need to create like a pamphlet for them to hand out to their clients so they can better explain what you do? Like, going straight to the source of where she's already getting these things. And then, eventually there is the social media aspect, but you can't put the cart before the horse. So we're,
Right.
she doesn't have content to really, it's one thing you say go full send on social media. So planning out like, okay, let's do a branding shoot. Let's get you like show people how you work with them. Okay, so you've got these couple jobs coming up. Let's make sure you take out your tripod and here's some video examples for you to do, like trying to really like break it down and make it bite size and simple and setting some goals and deadlines. And then like after 6 months, you've been doing these things and okay, so you kind of have a flow. So let's add 2 more. to the pile and like, okay, maybe it's bringing in money so then you can spend a little more,
Right.
or you really gain some confidence that you can DIY all of this yourself, and we're there like coaching you. We provide like classes and workshops and stuff too, so folks who are still in that DIY phase, like maybe we might build out a strategic plan for them, but they might come back to us just to get a little education, a little direction from time to time. So try to making it flexible, and like everything's customized. Every business is different. You and I, like the way that
Yep.
we meet clients, the way we
Yeah.
interact with them, the way we submit proposals, the way we invoice, like everything's different. So, but people are attracted to us for those different reasons. So,
Right. Yeah.
trying to meet trying to get into their mind, but also their client's mind, and creating a customized route to like straight to the heart of who they want to meet. So
I
yeah.
love that. I love
Yeah.
that. And I love I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Like there's a lot of business models that sort of have those boxes, if you will. And here's what it is that I offer, and here's the box that I can offer to you. But I
Yeah.
love businesses who are able to be more bendy and flexible and really look at the client that they're meeting with and say, okay, well, this client needs this, this, and this. While client B over here may need something completely different, and being able to cater to both of them and still have a really good, solid plan and strategy that can be implemented
Mhm.
that's going to benefit their business. Because if you take what you're doing and you're like, okay, well, I work with service individuals, and then you try to apply it to a health coach, it's not going to translate, right? It
Right.
does not compute the whole the whole computer thing. I love that you do that. So let's talk a little bit about, so you've been in this for a while. What are your clients' biggest challenges, do you think, that you see on a pretty consistent basis? So like if somebody were to hear this, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I'm there," or "Yeah, I'm experiencing that."
I think two things. One is pretty consistently across the board, 2023 was a tough year for a
Okay.
lot of businesses. We hosted these like biannual content camp, like educational, like marketing, like conferences. So built for small businesses and nonprofits. And we had one in January to kick off the year, and we surveyed our group, and I'd say 85% of the students raised their hand when we asked, like, was 2023 like a down year for
Gotcha.
you? And so I'm just like trying to be aware and also like empathetic to this as well. I mean, we've all like, I think a lot of people, especially who found success in the digital marketing world, whether as a hair salon or whatever, like you found a lot of great stuff going on online because we were forced during COVID to go online. A lot of people
Hmm.
were forced to invest hard in digital marketing, which was great for people like me because I was there to answer the call. I've also had been freelancing for 7 years at that point. I already knew how to do Zooms, I knew how to work remotely. So I was really, really ready. And then I will say last year, like we just had a lot of different clients who were like, hey, I can't manage this anymore. We're having a downturn. And then to hear that reflected in our students, like coming to look for answers. And I think that's just like a natural evolution. But I think it was really comforting for everyone in the class to hear that and be like, okay, I'm not alone. But
Right.
also like you have a community around you who heard you and is here like, okay, I hear that she had a down year. I'm going to send her more referrals, or like, let's do a little more intensive workshops. Like, I really wake up every day to help people. Like, that's why I got into this. That's why I left 9 to 5. Like, I just love being able to help people and help make them feel better. Like somebody's in their corner for
Love that.
sure. But then the other thing that we hear a lot, and that I think I mentioned it earlier, is the overwhelm. You
Right.
know, there's dealing with the downturns and finding the money to do the things, but also like where the heck do I spend my money? How do I spend my time? There's like 10,000 things that I'm reading on the internet. There's clickbait saying like I made $10,000 sitting on my butt yesterday,
Right.
and everyone's just feeling a little like, what the heck, where do I even start? So a lot of
Right.
times they just don't. And that's where I really try to find them. Like, back to that, like, how we create these plans with clients, like, how do we get it to feel really bite-sized and manageable, and then allow you to scale your marketing efforts over time, and, taking a deep dive, like, you know what? Maybe you don't need to be on Instagram, like, your audience is on Facebook. We have clients like that. Like, I've got 5,000 followers on Instagram, but I've got 15,000 on Facebook because that's their demographic. So,
Right.
just, really trying to help people find ways, like, to be more strategic about how they spend their marketing time so that they actually do the marketing
Right.
and they don't avoid it because they're overwhelmed,
Yeah.
and then along the way, hopefully you're making a little money, and,
Right.
you can scale those efforts over time, and again, just feel confident and calm that someone's got your back. Like, I'm feeling a lot of stress from our small business and nonprofit community, but I do feel a lot of hope lately. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
excited for this year.
That's fantastic. Okay, so now same question, but for you. So as a small business owner, right? You've been doing this for 10 years. Not a lot of people like they go into business, they're entrepreneurs, and unfortunately, a lot of them don't last for a very long time because of what we just talked about, right? It becomes so overwhelming that they're like, I can't. I'm just going to go back to a 9 to 5 as much as I hate it because then I know that that is comfortable and it's safe, right? It's not going to go
Mhm.
anywhere. I don't have to pour so much of myself into this. So what do you think has been your biggest struggle as a business owner? Whether it be since the beginning, really just your like entire journey so far, what do you think has been your biggest challenge? And maybe not even a
Yeah,
struggle, but like your biggest challenge that you've been able to overcome.
definitely. Well, I think because I did start so early and didn't have that built-in community around me, like, scaling the business is difficult when I do have such a unique skill set, and I can bring in creatives, but finding true partners,
Right.
people who can help me with the admin stuff, people who understand how I email back and forth with clients, how I manage relationships, like, that sort of partnership was a struggle for me. And I had recruited, I had trained, like, definitely a handful of people. Some of them were interns that became, employees. Some of them were people who reached out to me and said, "Hey, I want to do what you're doing." And almost across the board, they're like, "This is not fun."
Right.
Like, this is intense. And
Yeah.
a lot of the general feedback is like, "Hey, there is feedback. Like, part of being in marketing is feedback. Like, you
Right.
have to be like, I just don't bring any ego to the table. Like, when I'm working with clients, like, I want their feedback, and you just can't take things personally. And I think
Right.
that got difficult for people. Social media in general is freaking exhausting.
It
So,
is.
like, I'm a bit of an energizer bunny. I'm a cum laude graduate. Like, I love the game. I'm ready to take the hit, but I'm also ready to, like, get on there at 11:30 because somebody's, like, complaining. Like, I really enjoy that hustle. And then, so people have come in and out over the years, but recently I really have connected with a gal, Brandy. She has her own social media marketing agency. That's her specialty.
Okay.
We approach all kinds of things very differently, but she has the enthusiasm, the client forward mentality that I've been looking for. And I can bring in great jobs, but I need someone to help me do them. And she's really allowed me to do that with confidence, and, being open minded and communicative along the way. It's tough.
Yeah.
Really trying to build relationships with people again, especially in this game where maybe we're managing up 15 clients at a time. And there's a lot of demands, and we're also hosting workshops, and we have a membership for small business owners. And but creating a flow with somebody, really takes time, and it's a commitment that I'm so glad to see it matched on the other side. And I think we're both really open and honest at this point too about, like, if we need to shift or change, like, that would be okay too. But yeah, just finding someone who I can trust, someone who's got a similar, like, again, not approach to business, but a
Right.
wave. We're on the same energy wave, and um yeah, so that's been really fun, and I think this year is the year we're gonna be able to scale a lot together. We're already seeing it, so I'm really
Awesome.
happy, and she's filling in gaps that I have in knowledge and expertise, which is something I always look for, someone who knows more than me.
Yeah.
And I'm really grateful for that too. So
I think
yeah,
that
and
goes
then
back to you saying not having ego, right? Like it's cool. It's a really really good thing when you can bring somebody who has more knowledge than you, because then the
yeah,
two of you together are dynamite, right? Versus having
definitely.
that, oh, I don't want her because she has more knowledge, or I don't want him because he has more knowledge. So I love that
Yeah,
approach.
thank you. And like I wish everybody was like that.
Well,
But I find I've such and I wind up a lot of times I'll get hired by a CMO, a chief marketing officer. Like some of my clients are marketing professionals too.
okay.
Like I get brought in for like, special projects, or one of my longest going projects is like for 8 years now for a national retail brand. Like I work for their chief marketing director, and there's just it's just a beautiful relationship, and she's got these skills, but like I'm just able to execute them in a way so she can focus on the big picture stuff.
Right.
I'm the get her done kind of girl, and the more I can find people like that, the I'm that's like my special, like my sweet spot. Like
I love that.
women leaders who have a plan, they just need someone to do the job and listen and bring it to life, paint the vision, and have a laugh along the way.
Yes, yes, that's very important. So where do
Yeah.
you, talking about the future, where do you want to go from here? Like where do you see Sweet Talk strategy in the next 1 to 5 years?
Yeah. Well, I definitely want to keep my clients. Our clients stick around, the ones who find success and, get into that gel zone, that flow state with us, and people who are willing to evolve. So I I I really love the clients where we're offering multi-dimensional services so that are
Okay.
integrated. So email marketing, public relations, and we're doing their photos and videos, social media management, just because that allows us to really understand the company, allows us to really grow. Those are the brands that we have grown the most, the people who kind of like really let us in. So I'm really excited. We brought on some new clients this year that I really see becoming that. So I'm really, really excited, and got a couple proposals out right now for some of those more intense long-term, relationships. That's like just where we really shine. But then, again, I really do wake up to help as many people as possible in the morning. It's a curse. And also
It's a
my
beautiful thing.
like
It's not a curse.
yeah. So I've learned to, I can't say yes to everybody or pick up every call, but sort of out of this, like being the go-to person that people have questions, like they ask me. So me and Brandy, I mean, I started doing this and then we kind of teamed up, but we offer like almost monthly master classes, virtual workshops, like and we have those all day marketing conferences we call content camp. We have a Facebook group where anyone can come and ask questions. And this is all kind of grounded in like a membership model. So you pay like 80 some dollars a month, and basically you have like experts in your pocket whenever you want them. And I really, this is for the DIYers, the people who are new, or some of these folks that are in the group are like they own multiple businesses, so they're just looking
Gotcha.
for like a little bit of uplift in these different areas. And so that sort of stuff, like I've seen people completely change their business after attending a workshop, like, redesigning their website. We bring in experts that aren't just us, who like next month we're doing a masterclass on ManyChat. And that's something that like I keep seeing. I'm not doing it, but Brandy is. And so like how to set up automated messages and your Instagram DM and landing pages and stuff like that. And just trying to take these new tools and demystifying them for people so they can actually use them and actually help grow their business. So really
Love that.
excited to watch that community grow and watch people change. Like just yesterday, we had someone drop in our Facebook group, like, I just signed on my biggest client ever. Like, that's the kind of stuff that like I'm really excited for. And I thank the internet
Yeah.
for allowing people anywhere in the world to do it. I mean, of course, we host in-person events, but
Right.
I'm really enjoying the educational aspect of like what we do and been doing this for like this career for 15 years. I mean, it's a lot of information that I have and I hate not being able
Yeah.
to share it with people. So I'm super pumped about helping more people in those smaller but high impact ways. So
I love that. And I think that just again goes back to your heart of service, right? And just
yeah.
not having an ego about what it is that you do, but really, like you said, waking up each and every single morning of like, who can I help today? Who can I pull forward? Who can I help expand their business? And I love that mentality. I love what well, and I say this that I am a firm believer that I create my space and I create my world. And so there's a reason why you and I connected. Out of all of the women that were in there was a reason why you and I connected that day. And so I'm
Yeah,
looking
you were
forward
pretty
to
straightforward. You're like, "Let's I think you need to come on my podcast." I was like,
yes.
"Okay."
Yeah. So I love people's energy and I read energy really well. And so I love connecting with other individuals who have that same mentality of like, how can we help the collective, right? How can we push society
Yeah.
forward just to make it better? So thank you for being here today. It's been an honor to be able to interview you. You guys, if you want to reach out to her, Megan, tell everybody how they can reach you.
Well, you can go to our website, sweettalkstrategy.com. There's a contact form there, goes straight to my inbox. Of course, we're on Instagram at Sweet Talk Strategy. And if you are interested in any travel, fashion inspo, you guys can also follow me at Sweet Thoughts Blog on every platform, website. And I'll be here. I'm not going
I love it.
anywhere.
I love it. Well, I look forward to seeing you at another NABO event. I know Polly has invited me to a couple. She's like, "We really need you. Like, you need to be part of our community." So I look forward to
Yeah.
meeting you or seeing you again at another NABO event. So thank you
Awesome.
again for being here today. Enjoy your day. And for those of you who I know when you're listening to this, it's going to be past it, but it's a solar eclipse today. So if you get the opportunity to go out and watch the solar eclipse, do it because it's not supposed to happen for another 20 years. So, Megan, thank you again. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for enlightening us and sharing more about what it is that you do because I think there's lots of people who could use your services. So definitely reach out to Megan if anything that she shared with you piqued your interest. And so make sure that you come back. Make sure that you listen to our next guest. We have a couple of guests that are coming up that are phenomenal human beings. That's who I keep attracting into my space. So I'm super grateful for it. And as always, friends, stay fluid. I'm always cheering for you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.